Hey, I'm going to the restroom. I'm ready when you are, and make sure I'm not host.
Okay, got that, P.
Thank you.
Going live now.
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars but I couldn't make a killing, didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million, always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger cruises, ain't ever wannabes, waiting the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night, depending where you may be in the world and wherever you are. Thank you for being here with us. Today, I am in LA, of all places. Yesterday, I was in Canada. A couple of days before that, I was in Boise. I know, Michelle, but I'm kind of flying in and then doing a thing and then flying back out again. So I know I need to make time for that, and I'm going to make time for that. So here I am. But when I was a kid, my dad used to travel a lot. There was one year when he spent 280 days away, 50 days on planes, and 35 days at home. And I used to be so jealous. I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, he gets to see all these places. And he tried to correct me at the time and explain what that actually meant. And I didn't really get it. I now do get it. Like, here's what I have seen. I have seen LAX. That's something I could pass on for any point in my life. Nothing against LAX. If you're an LA person, it's beautiful, but thanks, but no thanks. I have seen an Uber and I have seen the Marriott Courtyard. And later on today, I'm going to see a ballroom in the Marriott Courtyard. Oof. Eh? Then I'm going to see another Uber. Then I see LAX again at midnight, where I'm going to catch an American Airlines red eye to Dallas, where I'm going to get another Uber to another ballroom. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I am looking forward to being home with my family.
And he's available for positions as first violin whenever
I'm not
needed.
looking for sympathy. It's just not as glamorous as I thought it was. Right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, depending where you may be in the world and wherever you are. Thank you so much for being here with us. And house rules always apply. Number one, drink water. Good for you. And I can't do that for you. Number two, knowledge is not power. Execution is power. We do not get paid in this world for what we know. We get paid in this world for what we do. And I'm going to put an addendum on that in a second. Number three is turn on your videos because you're beautiful. The addendum to rule number two is you also get paid more for what you don't do. You get paid more for what you help let your team do for you when they're better at doing it than you're doing it. Ha! This is a new realization for me at the moment. I was like, oh, I've got some really cool people around me. Really cool people like Liz and Max and Steve and people that can do shit better than I can do it. And the ego subjugation at the moment is rife. Like I was on the plane yesterday, I was like, what is it I'm supposed to do right now? Like I seem to have done everything I'm supposed to have done right now. I was like, I should watch a film and I should have a nap. That's what I should do. Because I think discernment and decision making is directly correlated to sleep and nutrition. This is my new wild lesson of like my quality of decision making is directly linked to how much I look after myself. Ah, some of you are like not surprised by this. Some of you, some of you are surprised that I'm surprised, and some of you are like, can you just stop talking and start doing some interesting stuff? So let's do that. Right. Before we do that, though, let's get some wins. Let's get some shares. Like, what's everyone up to? What have you achieved in the last week? What's been like your mic drop moment? What AI process have you run that you can help other people in this group? And remember, when we share, we give other people inspiration. We give them ideas as well. So don't be shy. Who's got what? Who's got something to offer this amazing group of people? Chris, your first automation. Can you come and tell us about that? This sounds like something we want people to hear from about. Chris, what you got? And then Andy, then Tom, then Debbie, and then anyone else in the chat.
I just did a really simple automation that's going to be the beginning part of my nurturing process. What it is, it's a questionnaire that is connected to a spreadsheet and sheets that then triggers a GPT. The GPT then gives the feedback from the questionnaire sent to the email address of the person who put their email address in and completed the questionnaire.
I love that. You say that's not a small thing, that's a big thing.
It's a big step for
I
me
love
because it's like the first time. Yeah.
100%. And that's what we're looking for. Liz, can you make sure Max has got this link? Whilst we're talking, I don't have access for my team. Sorry, Chris, I don't have access to Slack when I'm on my laptop. So if you see something, say something. You know those rules. But no, Chris, and this, I want everybody to model this. It's not about finding the huge automation that's going to like change everything in your life. That's not what it's about. It's about finding the ROI difference, like the one thing, the easy thing, the small thing that can move the needle. Like you start stacking those up and they compound. So good job, Chris. Like, that's what you need. You know, questionnaire through to Google Sheet or whatever it might be. AI that runs off it, formulates the thing, sends it back. You've now got intelligence about the customer. They've got value, and you didn't do anything once you've done it. So high five to that. We love that win. All right. Andy, what have you got with your amazing, colorful to-do thing in the background that you're not sharing with us?
Oh, it's my real fake background for videos.
Your real fake
Um,
background.
yeah, it's a real backdrop, but it's fake. I've been working on kind of next phase business model conversations with ChatGPT, and then the victory this week was then I realized, oh well, let me pull some research, that Manus helped me with, and through a sequence of 4 or 5 different chats with ChatGPT, pulling output from one conversation as input to the next conversation, adding a research report, got into a full how to do a full year plan a method that I'll use with clients, then my own 6-month marketing plan, and then down to social media plan for the next couple of weeks, down to video scripts, and then getting this real fake background into the mix, and getting this introvert on camera for some videos last weekend. So knocking down barrier after barrier because we're just doing what ChatGPT told me to do.
Right, it's one of those,
Just do it.
ego subjugation, isn't it? It's like, oh, I just do what it says. Right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it.
But it is, but it isn't. Like the battle we're always, it's one of the sports films. Like it's the gap between here and here. Like this is the problem right here. And it's always the problem right here. And like for all of us, everything we need, these tools give us everything we need. We just have to do what they say. Like, but our ego's like, no, I know how to do it better. But it can be just that simple. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you with your fake real background. I love that. I'm not this AI video first world, like fake real, real fake real fake. Like it's going to get really complex as to what the definition of real is.
Yeah.
But either way, I love it for you. Awesome. Good job. Uh, DYC, what you got?
So I thought about not sharing because I know this is baby beginner stuff, but I know there's a few people who feel like they're in that level around here. So I figured I would share. I did two things this week that I'm very pleased with. So one of them is I have a 40-second opener for my new class that runs at the beginning of every module. And when I was done, I looked back and went, hey, every single component of that, the music, the lyrics, the stills, the little mini video clips, every piece was AI. I put it together manually in CapCut, so it was exactly what I wanted. But every single piece was generated in AI. And not only do I get to run the clip, but I get to share with my super beginning AI students. This thing was created using AI. And they all go, oh, as it, like a little light bulb goes off. And I'm in the almost to the end of creating a custom GPT for those same students that will walk them through the entire process of figuring out all the components they need to fill in the personalization of ChatGPT. And
Nice.
I'm happy.
I think that's a crazy good win. And I think for everybody, like AI's ability to edit and produce a whole video right now, like really, it's not there yet. Like you need human editors or you need to do that yourself. But AI's ability to produce all the B-roll, all the A-roll, all of the pieces of the puzzle, 100% there. So you can sit and go, this is what it's going to look like in my head. And you can now make that happen. And you can save yourself the $50,000 that it would have cost you for somebody else to put that together for you. So great job. Good job, dude. Love it. Jeannie, I'm not going to take yours now because I said I'd end with Tom, but we will have some more time at the end, or if you put it in the chat, one of the two. That'd be great. Thank you. Tom, what you got with your amazing hat?
I'm going to live in this now because it's my message to myself, But two quick things, and I guess they're both kind of human oriented. I think last week I shared that I had a victory with a nice Forbes magazine article about this artificial general intelligence client, and it's been such a challenge getting coverage because so many people are pitching AI stories out there. But I had a talk with the reporter this morning, and he wants to collaborate with me. He wants me to help him get some attention because he doesn't only write for Forbes, and he can help raise my visibility. So not only am I celebrating that for myself, but again, I want to encourage all of you to think about collaboration because often the people that write these articles, especially in the tech sector, I would say, as you probably know even better than I, maybe they're coaches or have a side business. You can help them, you can bring them visibility. So it's a win-win. And I also wanted to thank you for inspiring me to do a video a day. I think I'm on day 17 now, something like that. And I'm really experiencing learning, tweaking as I go, not a bold, like, let me sell you something, but it's like, here's the message of the day. And I guess Chris is great at this as well, of course. But thank you for inspiring us. So thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. Like the ability to just be able to hit the button and go live. And as you said, I'm discovering in the last couple of days, I don't know how to even message it to people, but I'm discovering deeper truths. Like it's not that I didn't know it before, it's just it's emotionally landing how true the sentence is. And one of them is that you don't get anything, literally nothing, from intellectually learning anything. Like the only thing you do is qualify for the next level of intellectual learning. Like you finish high school, congratulations. You've just qualified to do some more intellectual learning. Like that's it. That's it. But doing teaches you viscerally and quickly. And you get the learning you need from the situation, not the learning the teacher thinks you need from the situation, the learning that you need. Like, oh, I get it. Like I said, I was going to go live every single day. I've just had the absolute blessing of spending 3 days with Kari, my coach in Canada. And I didn't go live a single one of those days because that was actually the learning. The learning for me was like, no, this is my time. This is my time to truly stop and breathe and reflect. And Kari presents some really harsh truths when I see her. And I don't think she does that for everybody. I've been asked to stress that by her. She's not that person for everyone, but for me, you need to hear this and you need to hear it now. So those things have an emotional weight. I didn't want to go live. I wanted to be present for that. And I don't think that was me failing at my mission. I think that was me learning part of the mission. I saw Nabiha in the group we have say, well, should I reset and start again? Like, one of the things for everybody, one of the things I really despise in this world is 75 hard. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever run into this. So 75 hard is for 75 days, you have to drink X amount of water, you have to do Y amount of reading, you have to follow this diet, and you have to do this exercise. And if you fail on day 73 because your dad died, you have to start again. And I think the amount of people that program hurts is exponentially higher than the amount of people that program helps. Because the idea for us as humans that we can be consistent to a 75-day to the smallest thing, to this, like, put your left sock on before your right sock. We can't even be consistent to that degree. That isn't recognizing the power and beauty of humanity. And for me, it's how quickly can I reset? How quickly can I get back to where I want to be? That's the magic. That's the thing we should be teaching ourselves. So if Nabiha, when you watch this video, is your answer to should you reset? No. You did awesome. You're amazing. Carry on where you were and learn the lessons you need to learn. So Tom, I think you're completely right. It just teaches us stuff. I always want to talk into what you said because I think it's such an important thing of as you go through different phases of business, I think a lot of you have heard me say this. What's right today is wrong tomorrow, and the right advice at the wrong time is just the wrong advice. And if you're not doing $1 million a year yet, you need to be finding as many points of leverage as possible. And often those points of leverage are collaboration and partnerships. Like, that's often what they look like. They're often like, hey, can you help me with this? And I've said no to quite a few of you asking me if we can do something together. But I don't blame you for shooting your shot. Like, yeah, ask. Don't be offended if somebody says no, but ask. See if you can find a win-win that fits in with their goals as well. And do that across the board. Like, Tom, I don't think there was a predictable outcome in advance that the journalist would say, hey, can you help me? And you're like, of course I can help you.
Yeah. And I wanted to throw something, and hopefully this isn't in disagreement, misalignment with you, because I love what you just said, and I totally agree. He was saying, well, we can set up like a chart, so it's symmetrical, and I said, I can tell you're a person of integrity. I'll believe that right now. So I'm all in. Let's do it. And, so I'm not going to get held back by little nuances. Maybe that's being a bad business person, but it's more like I want to embrace the collaboration. So that's, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think that the maybe a finesse of that is adhere my boundaries and giving it a limited time run so you can integrally opt out as well. So like, hey, yeah, let's just try this for a month. Let's see what it looks like after a month. And, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Let's both give each other permission to just say it didn't work. So that even when you say no, people are still in a good space. But that would be the only thing I'd say of it. Yeah, I think there's different phases to life, and in one phase, yes should be your default. And then you get to this next phase, and no should be your default. And it's really weird. Like, and I would say we're just crossing that chasm as a company right now, where 3 months ago, the answer to everything was yes. And right now, I think the answer to everything should be no. Like, because we didn't have, again, that $1 million thing until you've hit a million, and I'm using the money, but you can use this in any insert blank here. Until you're doing 1 million, you're throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. And sometimes, and Max just said this, I love this, you're throwing the same shit against the same wall and hoping it sticks. Like, and there was something you did slightly different that you don't really understand what it was, but now it is sticking. And like, great, now you need to get from 1 million to 5, and that's a whole different thing again. But the up to 1 million, the answer is, yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Then you get to the million, then you've got to start going, nah, that doesn't fit with the goals. That's not the strategic thing at all. And then when you get to 10, you ain't even the person saying yes or no anymore. Like that, you don't even have that. Like, I'm starting to get there where Liz is saying yes and no to stuff. I'm like, can I? No, I can't play. Okay, I can't play anymore. Okay, good. I don't get to play that. I get to do what I'm told to do now, which is super cool. So more leverage. If you took anything from anything I just said, more leverage. Chris, How does Chris get more leverage? AI. How does Tom get more leverage? Humans. Like, find the leverage in your lives. And it's something that I find incredibly empowering and incredibly frustrating. If you sit in the space of everything I need, there is a solution that I already have available to me. Incredibly frustrating to know that the solution is within arm's reach, and incredibly empowering at the same time. It's like the solution I need is right. It's there. I know the person. I know the thing. I've heard the thing. Where is it? But being willing to stay in there, I think, is really powerful. Okay, we're going to talk about leverage today. What we're going to talk about is lovable. Now, a lot of you said you wanted to talk about websites and web designs, pushing out websites. So let's do that. Anyone excited for that? Like a little bit of excitement, like a 10%, like a woohoo, like a yeah, there's a little bit. Okay. So I sat and tried to figure out how to get this done in a way, and I thought I was going to be giving you like a 50% solution. I think I'm giving you close to a 90% solution. So next week, we're going to talk about that hiring methodology we talked about a few times, of how to bring on people in Upwork to help you get the last 10% done. But what we're going to show you is how to get to 90% now. Okay. And I think the 90% is a publishable, workable 90% solution. So I'm going to take the text for an event that we're planning. You guys have already heard everything that we're saying in this, so you don't need to worry about this. You get it all here. You get all the good stuff here. But I'm going to take this text, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my Chrome, and I'm just going to paste the text on a notepad for the moment. So I've already written this text. This was done in Claude. Very standard. This is what we're doing. I'll show you that in a second. It's basically this page here. Blah, blah, blah. This is what you're going to get from this event. Yada, 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 yada. Boom. So I'm in Lovable. The first thing I'm going to do is come to a site called Dribbble, which is D-R-I, 3Bs, DRIBBBLE.com, dribble.com. And if someone could put that in the chat, somebody that's aware of it, that'd be great. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to click this button that says landing page. And I'm going to look across these until I find something that I think is sexy. So I'm going to say this. Okay, I think that's sexy. And then all I'm going to do is take this image here and screenshot it. So I'm literally just going to take this image. I'm going to zoom my screen out a bit. Come on. So I can take a screenshot of this image. Okay, so literally just pasting on my desktop that picture. Everyone following me so far? I've literally just screenshotted an image. I'm coming here because there are hundreds of non-copyrighted designs. This is a place where designers go to showcase their work. So I'm not ripping off anything that someone's paid for. I'm going to a free community of people that are sharing their design work. And then what I'm going to do is come to Lovable, which is lovable.dev, and say, produce me a landing page. It's for my audience of entrepreneurs. I have attached the design inspiration, and here's the wording. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put that in there. I'm then going to attach the screenshot that I just took. Wait for that to upload. And I'm going to hit go. Now, whilst that's starting, I'm just going to talk into what I'm doing. So now that's restarting the page. So all I did, step one, go to Dribbble, DRIBBBLE.com. Click landing page, scroll down until you find something that's super sexy. Take a screenshot. Step two, if you already have the words that you need for the thing, paste in the words. If you don't, go to something like Claude and get it to help you write the words. Bonus points for everybody. If you have a Rosetta Stone, this thing should be a super simple process for you. If you don't have Rosetta Stone, you have paid for the course that teaches you how to build a Rosetta Stone. So build the fucking Rosetta Stone already, for the love of it. We see the amount of people that use the course, and we see the amount of people in this room. They are not the same number. Go and do the course. Step 3, openlovable.dev. Join it on the most junior program, which I think is $20, and turn around and say, create me a landing page, and away you go. Paste in the thing, paste in the thing, thanks very much. And it's going to come back and say, I'll create a high-converting landing page for your AI workshop targeting entrepreneurs drawn from a clean, modern design aesthetic of the reference. I'll build a professional page with bold typography, glass morphic cards, and strategic CTAs. Modern tech aesthetic with professional blue-teal gradient scheme, bold attention-grabbing headlines that speak directly to the pain points, card-based layout for the 4 workflows with icons, strong CTAs throughout, and a clean, spacious layout that guides to conversion. And it is currently creating all those pages. Now, I did this yesterday as a practice run, and I can tell you that the time it takes to get this done is under 5 minutes. And I did that on an iPad with a table that didn't quite fit me at 34,000 feet using Air Canada Wi-Fi. And it was a pretty perfect outcome. So this really should only take you 5 minutes. I would say an investment that you could all make into your worlds is a second monitor. So you can watch my thing on the left and do your thing on the right. Literally just watch my thing on the left, do your thing on the right. I want to reiterate this for everybody. You don't need to learn anything here. You just need to press the same buttons I press when I press them. I learned it for you. Don't need to learn anything. Just need to do it. Knowledge is not power. Execution is power. Okay. It has come back to me and said, what's next? Now, when I said less than 5 minutes, I think that was 3 minutes and 20. Here's the results. Boom, ba-dum, ba-bum, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Here's what you're getting. Thanks very much. This is a good website. This is perfect. The version I got yesterday, even better. One I got yesterday was this one. So this one's the one I got yesterday. This one includes animations and stuff. And when you come up here, if I drag it to be full size for a second, look, this one includes little animation-y bits. All we did was put in, this is the design, these are the words, create me a landing page, go. And the next question it asked me, not the other way around, it asked me is, do you want me to build a registration page and capture the registrations for you? I'm like, yes, please. You can do that as well. And it did that as well. Now, the reason I'm covering the hiring next week is because that last 10% in Lovable, Replit, Base 44, Cursor, Windsurf, all of these Vibe programs is ridiculously painful. It is insanely crazy, hurtfully painful. It is stab your eyes out painful. Because as Liz pointed out when I showed it to her this morning, it's like there's a learn more button, but the learn more button doesn't do anything. Trying to get a vibe coding program to get rid of the learn more button is harder than the whole build out of the whole thing, which is wild and insane. I can't figure out how to even explain why it does it, but it literally goes, yeah, I've got rid of it. You're like, you haven't got rid of it. I can still see it. It's right there. And you go, yeah, and it goes, yeah, I was wrong. I've done it now. And you go, no, you haven't. It's still there. I can still see it. So what I would love for you all to do is at the point where you've got it to the 90%, which is where it is right now, give the source code to an actual dev and pay them $50 and save your eyesight, because the other alternative is you want to stab yourself in the face. I don't want anyone here to turn up with an eye patch because you've literally decided to stab yourself in the face as you try and get it over the line. Don't do that. Like, just spend the $100 and get somebody else to fix those last tiny little pieces of the thing. Right? But it's so powerful. Debbie, I'm taking questions at the end. So, step one, go to Dribble and say, this is the design inspiration. If you've got a great website already, awesome. Like, screenshot that instead. Like, if you want it to stay on brand to other stuff you have, but give it the visual reference and say, this is the design reference. Step two, tell it what it is. It's a landing page. Preferably give it slightly more background than I just said for entrepreneurs. If you've got your ICA or ICP, ideal customer avatar or ideal customer profile, upload that as well. And then give it the words and ask it to put it together. And you are 3 minutes and 40 seconds away. Now, once you've done that, this is where ChatGPT will be a great coach for you, because I don't want to spend all my time going through the detail. But when you publish here, you can decide what domain that's going on. So you can put this on your own domain if you want. It doesn't need to be on this domain here. You can put it on your own domain. How do you connect it through to GHL? You can get a Zap connection to take the leads that it registers and push them through to like a Zap or a Make to get them into GHL. All sorts of different answers. But those, I don't want to spend all the time going in here, because literally you just go to ChatGPT and say, I'm using Lovable. How do I get it onto my own domain? Give me step by step. Follow what we almost should call the Chris Hunsaker method, which is tell me what to click, when to click, how to click, and treat me like I'm a sixth grader. Which is how Chris built out most of his infrastructure before he met Stacy. Of literally just tell me what to click, when to click, how to click, and I'll click it. Right. So ChatGPT is a great compatriot on your quest to finish those pieces off. But it really is that simple. If I can do it at 34,000 feet on Air Canada Wi-Fi with one of those half tables with an iPad whilst watching Crimes of Grindelwald, which I'd recommend as a film, by the way. If I can do that in 5 minutes, you guys can do it as well. There wasn't anything here that's magic. Lovable.dev, grab the screenshot, put in the words, tell it what to produce. Thanks very much. And it's out the other side. And if you need a 5-page website instead, fantastic. Same thing. There's no difference here. We're like, you're now going to say, I want a website, not a landing page. And there's 5 pages, and the 5 pages of this, and this, and the text is attached. And this is the design reference, go. And it'll produce out the other side. Super, super simple. But the leverage point, as we were talking through with Tom, that leverage point at the end of this exercise is to say, okay, I've done the 90% lift. Now I just need one human for $100 to finish off those pieces that are just wrong and not quite right. If you don't perceive that I have just given you $10,000 plus worth of savings, you have missed the point. Because I used to charge people to do this. And your web guys are at least $3,000, at least, to do what I've just showed you. At least, probably closer to 10, and probably closer to 6 months to deploy. And we have to, on a shrinking time clock, which is what AI is, we have a finite version of this version of ourselves to be able to earn money. There's like a 2.5, 3 years before the world is going to be dramatically different. Speed to lead, speed to market, speed to product, speed to value is the number one thing, more than the cost. This is 5 minutes for you to have the landing page for the thing in your head out in the world. 5 minutes. 5 minutes and a $10,000 discount. You're welcome. Now, and I don't say that for you to, thank you, Judy, but I'm not saying that for you to go, wow, Pete, you're amazing. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm saying it to say, fucking do it. Like, it's right there. It's easy. It's quick. It's simple. You have to have your value out in the world. Your value sitting in your head is worthless. It is worthless. It doesn't matter what you know. It matters what you do. And if you can't elicit other people to joining you on the path, you don't get anything. You don't get any rewards. You get to sit in a room and go, wow, I was super smart. Great. I don't want that for you. I want the future that you want for you, and the future you want for you is with your value and your IP out in the world. And this is going to achieve it for you. Okay, before we do questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, on the subject of getting people in your world, out of your world, we would love to start being more active with referrals, because I really want to build our room and I want people that can collaborate and communicate with each other. Now, we can do that in two ways. One, I can pay Mark Zuckerberg and I can put ads out there into webinars. Two, I can pay y'all to do it instead. I'd much rather pay y'all because you know other awesome people like you. So George Wave, where's George? He's around here somewhere. Hi, George. And he's even got merch now. George is waiting to hear from you with the names of people that he should call and he should be in touch with to talk about bringing your amazing friends into this world. So please DM him. And I say DM him not because it's going to change whether you have a call with him or not, because he's going to harass you with needy girlfriend energy if you don't DM him. I'm asking you to DM him to save him the exercise of doing 3,000 dials. And it would save me the money of his 3,000 dials. So please get in touch with him because he's going to get in touch with you one way or the other. And this is just a nicer way for it to happen. So DM George on any of the Telegram channels, or Liz, if you don't have George's contacts, and say, I want to talk to you because I want to understand how I can bring people into your world. That's my request from you for this. Okay. With that, Liz, I have deliberately been trying to not read the chat. Anything I need to cover, anything I need to go into, anything you wish to add? Where do we go?
So I think the main considerations that I have seen again and again and again is so Richard was asking that Manus does it, Manus creates websites as well. And obviously, lots of different tools do lots of different things, some better than others. Do you use Lovable because it is the best, the easiest, or because you got there first and that's the one you chose to use today?
That's a great question. I'm using Lovable because it's the best. So we're now in a situation where the LLMs, large language models that we have available to us, are getting more finely tuned in what they're good at and what they're bad at. So if you look at the last couple of years worth of evolution, there really wasn't much of a difference between ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, etc. They're all much of a muchness. You can have, I had my preference for this, or I had my preference for this, but they all kind of were the same. And it's whilst they were establishing a base level of intelligence. Where they've gone in the last 6 months is very much around what are they going to do differently from the others. So Manus is a phenomenal tool. I love Manus. It's part of my core process in many, many different ways. And Manus can produce websites. Richard is 100% right, but it isn't finely tuned for the creation of assets. It's a generic large language model, which doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's a generic large language model. Now, the thing they have started to tune it for is this wide research and deep research, which is what I love using it for. So Claude can also produce websites. It can produce artifacts, which are websites, which you can publish and make clear. I don't know if Lovable versus Replit versus Base 44 versus Cursor, the other vibe coding tools. I don't know if there's much of a muchness between those, but everything that they're investing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of R&D in Lovable is how do we produce stable, good, working web stuff. So I think it's a really good space to go into. So great
So,
question. Lovable's the best because it's designed for the job.
and does that get inputted? I'm sorry, I'm about to use a whole load of words that don't quite fit together. But do you use that Lovable site in the same way that you would use a WordPress or a Go High Level funnel? Like, can you use it in Go High Level as like a part of your funnel, or is it a separate thing?
So it's a separate thing, and you would pipe the leads back into Go High Level. Now,
And
Go
how would
High
you do
Level, you would ask ChatGPT how to do that.
that? Okay, fair.
It would take me
What's
another
the-
hour to teach it, but you could just walk through it step by step. The other side to it is Go High Level for the first time ever, about 2 months ago, I think, allowed pixelated tracking of external web properties. So just like Google Analytics, so you could put the GHL tracker on this website so that metrics of what's happening on this website are feeding back into Go High Level. The thing about Go High Level, and this is like for everybody, Go High Level is the best tool at being the worst tool at everything. Like it is a phenomenal solution because it covers 50 different things. So for the average entrepreneur at the beginning of their journey, it's the best in the it's there's nothing like it. Because for $100 a month, you're going to get 20 different solutions, but you're going to outgrow each of those pieces. Like that's just inevitable. It's just inevitable. You're going to go, oh, okay, I need round robin calendar invites, or I need multiple host calendar invites. And you're going to look at GHO and it's not going to do it. So GHO is the foundation, the base plate, in my opinion, that works really, really well. But you're going to move different pieces out of it when you get different capabilities. You will not get a funnel that looks as good as what I've just done in Lovable in GHL anytime soon. There is no way you can get that done currently. So I would look at it for that perspective.
Okay, I have one more question, which is potentially a confusion item. So you are more than welcome to just go, yeah, no, I'm going to go and talk to somebody else. So I would just like to say that to you and also to everybody else. So I was fiddling about on the old doom scroll, and somebody was using Pinterest as a way of creating a mood board to task AI to create a website. In regards to, they pulled a text style that they liked and colors that they liked and a website that had spacing or white space that they liked. Is that just massively complicated, or would that be a good way of creating a more unique site?
That's a great question. So my first instinct would be to say that if you complicate AI and confuse it, you are never getting it back. Once it's down the rabbit hole, you might as well just burn the dumpster fire and start again. And I would believe that these tools would not keep up with here's my text style, here's my this style, here's my that style. I think it would get very confused with what it brings in from one place and another. For example, I have found recently that if I want to bring in Manus files into a Claude project, that I have to bring those in at the end. So I have to say to Claude, I want to write a proposal, ask me 10 questions. And when you are ready, I'm going to provide you with my ideal custom statement, the background research on this and the case study on this. But if I do that in the opposite order, if I give it those 3 files first, it gets horribly confused. It's like, oh, so we're building a website for a proposal for HSBC Bank. Like, no, that's the case study that I want to use in the proposal. And I have to fight it for it to understand how to use them. So I would say that if you were to do that, you would probably, at the current capacity of AI, you'd probably confuse it. That's number one. Number two, I ran a web company for a year with a website that said a man is in a room with a bat. There are no windows and no doors. How does he get out? If you want us to work for you, want to work for us, or want to work with us, put your answers to iamsmart@alwaysonmessage.com. Because I didn't have time to do my own website. I was a web company without a website. I have seen Russell Brunson do $10 million from a Google Doc. I have seen Tony Robbins do $10 million from a Google Doc. So if anyone on this call thinks the reason they're not succeeding is because they're using Times New Roman, not Georgia fonts on their website, I'm here to tell you that you're making up an excuse because you don't have a product market fit. The only thing that matters in this whole game is your product or service, it's fit to the market, and your messaging around that. If you've got those three things nailed, you can use a Google Doc. So even if providing all those files from Pinterest to Base 44 or something gave a greater, richer output, the 4 hours that you would spend doing that versus just finding a dribble screenshot like I just did is 4 hours you should have spent meditating over who is your customer and what do they really need from you. You don't have to go to that level of detail to get a workable output in a sub-million revenue company. You are not finessing stuff. That's $100 million company. So that would be my answer. A, I don't think it would work. And B, if it did work, I think you're doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
Rock and roll. They were great questions. Rosemary, what you got?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for today. This is awesome.
My pleasure.
You might have actually answered this. So just anyways, I'm nowhere in terms of go high level. I'm not really friendly with, like, I used Keep at one point and I just like was ready to rip my hair out. I basically just have the contacts that I have emailed over time in my Gmail. I have my LinkedIn profile and I want to get moving. My first step I'm going to do is the, I don't know how many ever days of live content, right? I'm going to start with video because I can just talk about stuff, right? That's easy for me. So my question is, how do we get started with some type of CRM that is for somebody like me that's nowhere at this point?
That's super simple. You reach out to Stacey Rasky, who is in all of our communities. She's our partner in Go High Level. Book a call with her. She's very, very good. We used to run a Go High Level program. I think everybody that's moved over would agree she's better at it than we were by a metric mile better than we are. I'm
She's
so
great.
glad we should free everybody in our world to her because she is phenomenal. And tell her what your goals are and tell her where you're at, and she'll happily walk you through it and give you solutions.
How do I get a hold of her again?
She
She
will
in here?
she'll be in the Telegram groups.
I will
Okay,
DM you her. I'll send you her message.
Thank you, Lizzie. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate today and our
My
community.
pleasure.
I can't tell you guys enough. Like, through the crap I've been through, I can't tell you enough. Thank you.
Welcome home. Richard, what you got?
Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to see everyone. Thank you for this lovely community as well. Question, I'm actually kind of piggybacking on something the indescribable Debbie put out there, and that is you can build a website with it. But my sense is this is a static website. The reason Debbie asked the question about can this be done in WordPress or can this be done in a format where, let's say you're doing it for a client and they want to put up blog posts or they want to change the content. Can that easily be done, Peter? Or is it like starting from square one and reconstructing the whole thing? Because I know AI has difficulty building on top of what it's already done without totally reconstructing and reconstituting and fucking it up.
Okay, so the option I would offer you to consider, but this is an advanced option. This is an advanced option. This is an advanced option. Does everybody hear me say this is an advanced option? Is something like Contentful. So if you wanted to do this at that kind of scale, you could use something like Contentful. So what you're looking for is what's called a headless CMS. So a headless CMS is all of the front end power of a content management system like WordPress, but without the back end admin screens of WordPress. So you could tell something like Lovable to use a headless CMS. So you would still get the ability to add blog posts and it would do all of its magic without you having to do it that way. That would be my only working suggestion that I could think of getting through that.
Would Lovable suggest which CMS, headless CMS, or should I recommend it?
You can literally go in and say, so let's have a look at this. So let's say if I come into here and say, I want to add blog pages to this using a headless CMS. What would you recommend we use? However, the Lovable Cloud thing that they have recently done does include a database and it does include the ability to do things like this. So there may be some options around it. The
Okay.
other thing I would say to people is, again, that good, better, best of this. If I would be like, I'm sure Medium can do what you want for now. If you want to get your viewpoints out into the world, and why not do that for the first 100 days until you work out how this actually works for you? Because the amount of people, web projects I've sat in where people said, I need a work like a CMS because I'm going to do blog posts, and then they don't do any. Hey, Sammy. Okay, that was it. That was it. Okay. The amount of people, Richard, that actually have a blog and then actually produce content on the blog, maybe 1 in 500 of people that actually say they're going to. So if you're not
Yeah.
going to do it, why engineer it?
Yeah. The use case I was actually thinking of is the client has a podcast. What they like to do is add the podcast and the description to the website in addition to where else they have it. Don't know why
Yeah.
they do that, but that's what they want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you could add these. I think Lovable is a lot better at these things, but I would probably just ask it to embed Insta at the bottom and then publish it on Insta and just put the last Insta post that mentions the website. Again, these are all those things that sub a million. Is this going to be, are we actually going to do that thing like for real or like not? But I also agree when I was in agency world, you end up doing a whole bunch of stuff that you know is never going to work and they're never going to use, but that's what they say they want. So that's what they have to have. So though it's not a clean cut answer, Lovable through the cloud thing, I think can give you some ability to do that, but it's not going to give you the warm interface that you're used to in WordPress. So when the client then goes to manage it, they're going to run into difficulties.
Thank you for that.
My pleasure. Uh, Eric, what you got, sir? All right, you're on mute.
If we're already on WordPress, could we get something like Lovable to provide an output that you can then put into your WordPress and you know it's going to work. And then if you have some other tool like Elementor or something like that, and you want to update the page or something, again, you avoid that problem that Richard was talking about with, oh, I got to rebuild it from scratch and something will get screwed up.
Don't know. I don't know how. So I know that a couple of the use cases I've seen for, there's a documentation MCP server. So you can extend Lovable and Replit's capabilities by giving it access to the instructions for other systems. So it's called Context 7. That was it. So this here, let me show you what this is. So this is a system called Context 7, which has an MCP for 51,396 sets of technical documents. 51,936. 396. 51,396. So when you want to get a vibe coding system to use other technologies like WordPress or Elementor, you can give it better instructions by doing this, but you are trying to turbocharge a tractor at this point to some degree. So I think WordPress has lots of inbuilt tools. I think a few people put them in the chat, and I'd probably stick to that environment. If you're like, I've got this, it's great, it's awesome. What I think I'm more interested in this is for two sets of people in this audience. One is you don't have a website at all, or you've just been quoted 5, 10K, 15K to get something done by somebody. You're like, I don't have that kind of money and I need something out there. That's number one. Number two is for everybody here when they're like, I there's a phrase that I heard recently, which is if you're not making enough money, you're not making enough offers. And the ability to use something like this to just publish the landing page, push it out, see if people are interested in it, and go, let's just see what happens. Like, you often don't want to commit to the whole build of a thing. You want to just try something and see if people are interested. So in that case, speed to market becomes the ultimate currency, which is why I think this
Right.
today is really useful. Of like, well, let's just push it up there, see what happens. Like, why not? So that's where I'd look at the framing of this is more around how do I get something done quick, simple, easy done, versus how do I replace an entire production system of like WordPress, Elementor. These are very, very sophisticated systems that are very, very good and do what they're supposed to do.
Is it possible with the vibe coders to go into the source code and like stick in things like schemas in the
100%.
head,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
When you sit in the world of certainly within Lovable, I think it's within all of them. But if I come into here at this point and go to here, I can edit that page.
Hmm.
So vibe coding isn't producing a compiled system, it's producing the code. So
What do
this
you
is
mean
the
by that?
point.
Oh, okay. I get what you mean. Okay, I know what you
Yeah.
mean by compiled.
So
Okay.
that's why I was saying my preferred way for everybody here is once this is done, if there's like tiny little changes you need to have made, send this to the dev and say,
Yep.
here's my website. On this page, this is wrong. On this page, I need this. On this page, I need this. Get rid of this button. Get rid of that button. And send them this. Like, let them do those final sets of changes in this, which some of you on the call will look at this thing and go, I have no idea what the hell he's looking at now. And others of you on the call will go, I completely understand what this is.
Mhm.
But you can just send this to a dev and say, here's my problems. Go through here. I don't want to save changes. Go through here, highlight this and say, change that. Come down to this learn more button and circle it and say, delete that. So you do the front end feedback and then send them the code, which is in here, and say, make these changes, send it back to me.
You would actually
And
have them log into that same.
no, if you, again, this is more advanced for everybody else, so don't get confused. Just do what I said already. But for the more advanced people, you can just commit this to GitHub, and then just give the dev access to GitHub. They can do the changes, and then it will then reflect back in here because it's synced with GitHub.
Okay. That I've never played with GitHub, but I can always look that up on AI.
Exactly. ChatGPT, how do I
Yeah.
use GitHub?
Right.
GitHub is version control for software, so they get the ability to pull the code down
Right,
on their
right.
machine, make the changes, push it back up.
I was able to push an app
Excellent.
from Replit to GitHub, so it's doable, Derek.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank
When
you.
you're doing the bigger work, you'll use something like Replit or Lovable, push it into GitHub, and then use Claude Code in GitHub to actually
Gentlemen,
get it working. Thank you.
abundance AI, and you're making my head hurt. So stop
Thank
it.
you.
Right. That's number one. Number two is for those of you with websites. I've put one of our custom GPTs in the chat, which is our page analyzer. It's going to pull 15 of your main metrics so that you can have a look at what other people are thinking and saying about your page. If you use that with your ideal client avatar, you're going to know what your customer sees and thinks about your page. Because ultimately, all of that is super cool, but getting people to clickety click click and give you money is the most important thing in the whole game. So get your stuff analyzed, see what people are seeing, because you could be in love with it, but you need the soft eyes of your customer looking at it going, well, when I click this button, nothing happens. So that is my offer to you.
Thank you. Rock and roll. We are at time. Liz, any final words?
My final word to Andy with his question is bring it to office hours, because that's a question that I would like to answer. And also, I am thinking of doing one of those. Do everybody remember the Rosetta Stone Real Builders session where we masterminded your Rosetta Stone, the best things to put in it, how to build it properly? I'm thinking of doing another one for Ideal Client Avatar because it is my bread and butter and I love it. It makes me super happy. Now, do people want that? Would it be helpful? Do you like, could
Lots of
you,
people just said yes.
perfect. B, do we think that you would like the opportunity to invite people to that? So rather than it just being for our audience, which is what we usually do with real builders, because it's ideal client avatar, everybody needs it. Is that something that would be helpful to your friends, neighbors, dare I say it, audiences? Because if you are in a coaching space and helping them build tools, they could probably benefit from that. That is something that you could speak to George about or speak to me about. But ultimately, if those are the types of things that are helpful to you, I want to start delivering them. So let's
Yes.
chat.
Lots of people said yes in the chat. We are at
Perfect.
time. We love you all. For abundance people, we're going to work on social GPTs, and then we're going to work on how to get a Shopify store out in 15 minutes or less. Bum, bum, bum. Because merch is cool, because it's another more dollars whilst people wear your message. Right. Love you all. Team, play us out.
Don't feel like going home, but all my cash is gone. Yeah, I got nothing to do tonight. I'm passed out on the floor, up in the hotel bar, but it don't matter 'cause I'm feeling fine. I'm thinking life's too short, it's passing by. So if I'm gonna go, it all